Awesome. We should jam sometime. Charlie Weber. Thanks
Weber.
for coming.
Oh,
Weber.
I meant to tell you before you got here. It's Weber like the burgers, not like the barbecue.
Damn it.
That's a Northern Ontario joke.
You got the one name that you'd think you'd be able to nail.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's all right.
I'll just edit it out. There'll be like a really weird edit where I say it right. But thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. So record's out.
It is
How's
out.
it feel?
It's a weight off and then an immediate
more
weight on. You're like, yeah. And then you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to get like music videos like thought up, made out, and stuff like that. And like that's a skill set that I'm not excited for. And then all the while trying to book shows.
Yeah.
We did a tour, which went great, and then then we're off tour, and then I'm doing stuff with my other band. So it's like I'm trying to balance both. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
For sure. Are you I know like you have a band behind you with your solo stuff.
Yeah.
Too, but are you still like kind of handling everything, or do you have
it's like
team?
Really mostly me. I do have the folks at Forest City Records helping me out with a lot of the stuff. They kind of tell me what to wear and where to go. They didn't see me today, but they help out with some stuff. They have more connections than I do, so when it comes down to like talking to people for festivals and stuff like that,
awesome.
They are kind of in charge of that. I go, hey, this is what I need for you guys. Please do that. Yeah. And then they're like, you should have asked us a week ago. Yeah.
That's new too, like in terms of you signing with them.
Yeah. That would have been in, I want to say February.
Okay.
Yeah. It was still cold. Yeah. In February last year or this year, they signed me onto their label. I'm like the one guy that they have going for it, so we're doing that. And it's been interesting. It's you get more shows, you get they focus you, I guess, is more so what it is, which is nice. Because like I was playing shows for like $20 and they're like, no, play it for this much, and also don't do that one, do that one. Right. And I'm like, I guess, because I just like to play. So I just go everywhere. Yeah. But they've given me a grasp on what I should be doing to make it worthwhile. Right. And like maybe like what your worth is and stuff like that. Because that's tough, like when you're new, like what you're worth it. Like Julia's a photographer, and like it's always like, well, what do you want paid for this? And she's like, oh, I have no idea. Because you don't want to like insult somebody, but you don't want to undersell. You go your 600 60. I will take. No, a lot of times when people send me emails, and they're like, "Well, how much do you charge?" and I go, "Oh, how much is your budget?" And they go like, "How much do you charge?" Yeah. And I go, "Well, normally this is what I would do," and they're like, "Oh, that's too much." Yeah. And I'm like, "Then why? Just tell me how much money you have, and then I will work with you. I want to work with you." Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot easier sometimes just to know like what the budget is, but they want to know like if their budget's too high for like what you'll right. They say like 60 and you're gonna say 20 or whatever, right? Like, that's awesome. How long has Forest City Records been around? I don't know like too much.
I think they started like briefly before they signed me. Right. They were kind of just making sure to get everything all together. But no, like I'm their first guy on the label, kind of flagship. Hopefully it goes well. Yeah. If not, they'll find someone better. Someone with more diverse appeal. Right. Instead of some white dude who plays acoustic guitar.
Oh, man. So how long... You were doing it solo for a while, right? Like just you...
Yeah, everything was to me. I've been doing solo music for the last 5 years, I want to say. 2013, so 5 years. Okay, cool. I started when I was in college, in my second year of college.
Right on.
Because I was in school and I was like... I don't really care that I'm in school, and then my friends are like, "Oh, you sing nice, you sing nice. You should do some stuff." And then I just kind of started writing songs. Right. And they're nothing songs. I put out my first EP. I named it after itself. It's called Self-Titled. Okay. Which is also a track on the record. Right. So, I started writing songs like that back in 2013. Right on. And then it just kind of snowballed where I got actual life experience.
Right.
And started writing songs that actually meant anything.
Right.
And then
That's awesome. That's like the beauty part of like when you start songwriting is you're like just sort of write songs off other people's life experiences. Like especially like just whoever your influences are, you like just kind of steal stuff from them or whatever.
Well, I think like when someone's like just started writing music and you're like, oh, because you wrote a song about music.
Yeah.
Or a song about writing songs. My first song is about writing songs for people who want you to write songs for them.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, here's the 2-minute bullshit song that I wrote so that you feel like you got something out of it. Because that happens all the time. People are always just like, oh, can you write a song about me? And I'm like, I don't even like you, man.
Right. You might get that more like being sort of like the singer songwriter type. Like like bands don't generally get the like do something for me kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's usually women who ask to get like songs written about them, and they're like, oh, you want to go out sometime? No, but if you could write a song about me, that'd be great. You're like, oh, great. I feel good now. Yeah,
it's probably not going to be positive.
Yeah. That's what I always say, though. It's like, have you heard my old material? Yeah. It's not happy. Yeah. Never when you write a song about something is it like, oh, please write a song about me. Yeah. I want to know how terrible I am.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. So when do you think like, was there sort of like a moment for you where you like really felt that you were hitting your stride, or was it just sort of like all of a sudden you're here?
It's honestly, it's like just like when it comes down to a songwriting perspective, I forget how to write songs. Like you write a song, you're like, that's great. And you write like a bunch in a row and you're like, cool. And then the next song is always just like, how do I do that? Yeah. How do I? Someone told me at a show, they were like, no, I really like the new stuff. And I'm like, oh, thank you. He's like, it's different, but it still sounds like a Charlie Weber song. And I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. Yeah. But I know it when I hear it. So like, but when I'm writing songs, it's like, I went through like a dry spell of writing songs. And I was like, I don't even know how to write a song anymore. I'm just going to quit. I'm going to get a real job. And I'm like, just going to quit all my bands, not do any music anymore. And then like a couple weeks later, I wrote like 3 songs in a row. And I'm like, all right, I'm happy with those.
Still on that. I think like those moments of like writer's block are also important. Like it's just sort of like the taking a break.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to chill. Like,
yeah.
And like the best thing you can do is not force it or force out a bunch of turds and then come out with like one good one.
For sure.
Because the way that I write songs is like it happens all in one go generally. There's a couple of songs when it comes down to like political stuff. Whenever I write a political song, that usually takes a while because I have to get like facts in order. Right. Yeah. So when people come up to me in bars, they're like, you know, when you said that, that's not what this word means. Yeah. You go, all right. But yeah, no, I usually write things out in like one go, and then like it gets cleaned up in the demoing process, or like when I play it on stage. I was just listening to some old demos from like from Old Habits, right? And I was like, oh, that's not how this song goes. And then I was like, oh, I thought it was this word was always this word, right? And be like, no, it was something completely different, right? And it just kind of like naturally falls out like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but when it comes to like knowing if you've hit your stride, I'm not sure that ever happens. Right. And if it does, it hasn't happened to me yet. I always feel like I can be better.
Yeah, like, that's important too. Yeah. So when you were, what was the sort of process like when you were ready to record Old Habits? Like, there's 12 songs on that, right? Yeah. So, did you go in with 12 songs? Or
I went in with, so I was talking to Richard from Forest City Records, and he's also in Mountain of Wolves, if you know them. Yeah. And he was like, yo, man, I just want to start producing records. I was like, cool. And he's like, you'll get your stuff out. Send me some demos. And I had some people ask me to send them demos before. And I'm like, all right. So I sent him like all the songs I had written over like the last 3 years. Right. It was like 19 songs. Oh, wow. And I was like, here you go. And he's like, oh, man. And I'm like, lots to choose from, which was nice. And I think that's a good way to do it. I don't think anyone should ever go in thinking that, oh, we're going to record these 9 songs that we showed up with because they're all gold. Yeah. Because chances are that's how you get flubs on records.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a friend tell me, he was like, yeah, we went in and we had like 4 songs and that was all we wrote for it.
Right.
And I was like, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And he's like, and then they were like, it wasn't the best record that we put out, you know? So I think you really need to get through that process. And having that outside view that I had with Forest City Records and Richard, like, producing the record was, like, instrumental in how it came out, because he was like, I don't like this.
Right.
What if we change it to be like that? What if this is a full band song instead of just like a slow jam?
Right.
And yeah, it just kind of worked out that way.
Interesting. So then, so were there some songs that you had in mind that were like full band or just you, or was that something that was talked about like in pre-production? Like, do you demo songs that way, or you just
like I basically just come in. So all the songs that I write are written on acoustic guitar,
right?
Just as a singer-songwriter thing, I'd be like, it'd be cool if this was full band,
yeah.
And then you can kind of like hear what you're thinking. And they're like, oh, what if we did this part, or what if we and like a lot of it comes out in recording too,
right?
Like, so like you come in with it, and it's like, because what he did, he made maps of the songs, and so like it was my acoustic track, and then he made like the drums on like a MIDI keyboard,
right,
to like see what it was going to be, and then we demoed them with my other band members. So Richard played guitar, and then I have Nick Lange on drums, and Mason Van Galen on bass, and they just kind of added their own stuff, because I don't write other instruments, because I don't play other instruments.
Right.
I know what I'm doing. I'm like, here's that, and then we kind of make sure it goes on time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, you guys write what you're gonna write for it, because I picked you guys because you're good at what you do, and I don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all. I think that works best.
Yeah.
And because I mean, I guess there's people in the world that prefer to just do it all and then have people play whatever. But
I mean, if I could play all the instruments, I would, because I'm kind of an egomaniac
right.
that way. But I'm not Paul McCartney. I can't do that kind of stuff.
That's fair. That's fair.
But no, I think that it's a neat perspective to have someone else come in and be like, oh, I thought maybe we could do this.
Right.
Because like even when I have band practice, when someone screws up, they know they screwed up.
Right.
So I don't stop and be like, oh, you screwed up.
Yeah.
Let's start over.
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of like,
yeah.
And then you see what you did there?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'll be like, we'll get it next time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, why don't you, that was cool what you did there. Maybe try that again.
Right. Right.
Because again, like it's creative, songs are just creative forces coming together, and
yeah, for sure.
Especially when it's a full band thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you prefer that, like the band versus solo?
It's got merits to both.
Right.
I was watching your thing with Charlie the Kid.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you have like the full band and it has a dynamic to it, but you can do a lot more off the cuff with your solo stuff.
Right. Which
is a lot. It's nice because when we were on tour, we had to do like some longer shows to like pay for the tour.
Right.
And so we were sitting there and I was like, oh, let's just do this song. They're like, oh, we don't know that song. Yeah. And I was like, no, you'll pick it up.
Yeah.
And then we like played it and then one of them goes well, and then you're like, oh, and then you get that false confidence. You try it again, and then it's like, that didn't go well.
Yeah.
And, like, and you look at the audience, they're like,
what was that? What
happened? We're like, we'll get them next time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's hilarious. So then you recording it, and then how long did that take for you guys?
That took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, and I think it was just because we were really taking our time with it.
Right.
Richard hadn't done a production of that scale at the time, so it was like full band, 12 tracks, which 12 tracks is a lot. Yeah. Like in this day and age for a record.
For sure.
And to have the full band mixed with like the singer-songwriter stuff. We started in February.
Okay.
And we didn't get our masters back until I want to say July or August, early August. Yeah. Which is a long time. Like that music does take a long time to
for sure
make, but I think it was because we were just trying to make everything perfect.
Right.
And I think I would like to streamline it a little bit more next time.
Right.
But I think it was a good learning experience the way that we did it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So then are you writing songs like a little differently now, like bringing stuff to like a band?
Well,
before you're demoing or whatever.
I was looking at my my notes and I was just checking the new songs that I wrote. So I've written like 6 songs that
Right.
I'm proud of, but I'm trying to make them more like guitar music centric. So like
Okay.
this one was like kind of like a folky record.
Yeah.
And I want to do like more like a Tom Petty like guitar.
Okay, cool.
Guitar centric record, or like a Gaslight Anthem, stuff like that.
Right.
And so I'm giving them the bass stuff because we haven't started like doing anything with that. I don't think we will for a couple months until like we put a couple tours of this record on. Yeah. But it's a weird thing because like I've been playing these songs for 3 years, so like it's new to everybody else. But like to me, it's like I've had these forever. These songs, like I know them inside and out, backwards and forwards.
I felt the same way when we put our EP out, that we were like, because I think when we became a band, I think we wrote like 8 songs like really quick, and then when we were going into second year, we were like, well, let's like, I don't know, record whatever, see what happens. So we did 5, but then like it was a year between actually starting recording and putting them out, plus all the time we'd spent before that practicing. So by the time like the release show comes around, you're like, oh yeah, all these new songs we have are like really cool. And like especially like the one song we have, I wrote before I even came to London, so I wrote it like 2.5 years before the release show. So like I know now for like a while, and then it's always
like, this
funny.
is an old one, but also it's new because it's on this record. Please buy it.
Totally. But I mean, I guess that's part of the game. You gotta do that.
Yeah.
As long as people like it, then you're laughing.
Yeah. No. So what I was doing, I was trying really hard not to play certain songs.
Okay.
Like, which sucked because they're like songs that I really like.
Yeah.
And I was like, so like. It took me a while to relearn them because I hadn't played them in so long. But I was trying to keep it as special as possible for when people actually picked up the record and were like, oh, I haven't heard this song before. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because like most of your records are going to your primary fan base.
Yes.
So you want it to be special for those guys.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to be special to your new fans.
Right.
But when the people who come to your release show, they're like, well, we came to your last 40 shows.
Yeah.
So we kind of know.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but have you heard this one? They're like, what?
Yeah, for sure.
That was really tough. That was actually really tough to because I was trying to like pad like certain shows runtime.
Right.
Because you have to play for an hour or something like that at like a brewery.
Yeah.
And so trying not to play those songs while also perfecting them while recording.
Right.
So it was a double-edged sword.
Definitely. So what are some of your like earlier influences?
So my biggest influence is Frank Turner.
Definitely.
He's I saw him when I was 16.
Okay.
15 or 16. I went to go see The Offspring at the Molson Amphitheater in Toronto.
Okay.
And they were playing with Pennywise, and then there was some random acoustic guy from England that was coming on stage. And they're like, yeah, we had some guy, and he's there. And we're like, okay, that's really weird for this. And then he just played, and I went. So The Offspring was my favorite band at the time, and I went in there with them being my favorite band, and I left with Frank Turner being my favorite band.
No way.
Because he went on stage. You couldn't hear a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Because the amphitheater is awful for seeing a concert, which sucks because it should be better.
Yeah, totally should be better.
No, it was just... You could like see like the veins pop out of his neck, and at that point I had no like need to write a song. Like there wasn't like people, because I'd been playing guitar since I was like 11 years old.
Okay.
They're like, oh, do you ever think you want to be a musician? I'd be like, nah, I'm making a job. I don't want to do that. Yeah. And I saw this guy do it, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that. And I like immediately went home and I listened to all his songs. Yeah. Went to Ultimate Guitar, had like 3 up there because nobody knew who he was. Yeah. And I was like, substitute. Yeah. So that's definitely my biggest one. You can really hear it on the record.
I definitely get the vibe for sure, which I already knew that about you, but
I try to steal as little as possible, but most of the times when I do, I try to make it very obvious. Right. I used to write in a lot of like nudges and winks into my lyrics. So on my one song from my first EP, self-titled, I base it off of a song, a Christmas song by Into It Over It called Jingle Bell Broke. Okay. And I just put a capo on it. Put it up the fretboard. And then in the song I was like, I'm into bars and I'm over it. Right. Yeah. Just to like be like, I know what I did. They're like, it kind of sounds like this song. We're like, yeah, I know. Yeah. And here's why. So I always try to do that. Another big influence for me is Gaslight Anthem, Brian Fallon.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite artists. I got to see him twice this year. I got to see Brian Fallon, and I got to see the Gaslight Anthem.
Oh, nice.
Which was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I had to go. I went with a friend to see Brian Fallon because he just put out a new record, Sleepwalkers, which is really great. Cool. And that was kind of an inspiration for the new stuff that I'm doing.
Okay.
Because I was like,
yeah,
let's change it up a little bit.
Right.
And then I got to see the Gaslight Anthem. I had to go by myself though, because like tickets were $60. And I'm like, do you want to buy a ticket for someone else? Like, no, I can't afford that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I went to like Rebel in Toronto, and I was like in this giant room that was so full of people who just loved the Gaslight Anthem. That was really cool. It was very inspiring because it happened before my release show, and I was like, my release show was like a month away or 2 months away, and I was like, I want to do something like that. Yeah. Other influences, I do a lot of pop punk influences because that's just what I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
Like, I think I started out like every kid. Like, you start listening to classic rock because your parents listen to it, and then you get into like punk and metal. Yeah. And I listened to like a lot of pop punk. So like The Offspring were big for me. Blink-182, which is like obvious for anyone who's under the age of 35. Yeah. Dave Haas is a big one for me. I got to open for him earlier this year. Him in Northcote, and Northcote is also not as much until like I actually got to play with him this year. But Dave Haas was a big one for me. I got his record Devour in college, and I started I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to start doing stuff like that, and so that really helped out with
that's awesome.
Like my old stuff and the record.
That's awesome. Cool. I think that so I was going to talk to you about Frank Turner for a little bit because I know we're both big fans.
Absolutely.
But I think that's funny about that Offspring show because I'm pretty sure. So my brother and his friends are how I found out about Frank Turner, and I'm pretty sure our friend Drew and another guy saw Frank Turner for the first time at that same show.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's the story.
It was just a random thing because you're at the amphitheater too, so everything's super overpriced.
Yeah.
So my dad took me and my brother because we had all really bonded over The Offspring.
Right.
And we were there, and we're watching him like, oh, this is really great, kind of, because we can't really hear.
Right.
And my dad was like, this is awesome, and he like leaves and he goes and picks up the CD.
Right.
And so we got the Love Iron song CD.
Wicked.
Because I think it was this last leg of that tour before we put out Poetry of the Deed.
Cool.
And so we were listening to that, and we listened to that all the way home.
Right.
And like when you listen to a CD for like too long, you pull it out, it's hot.
Yeah.
Like that's how long we listened to it. Cause we're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So like
that record's like unreal too.
Oh so yeah. That's his punk cred record or something like that. Everyone's like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact moment that I like finally crossed over because they'd been like going to all of his shows and like talking nonstop about him. But I remember like when it like really sunk in with me, and I was like, oh yeah, like this guy's fucking unreal. And then I've seen him 3 times. I saw him twice on the Positive Songs tour. In Waterloo. He did a solo show with Northcote. It was also solo at Maxwell's. And then I saw both of them again, full band, at was it Danforth?
Yeah, I was at the Danforth show.
That was
a cool one.
Probably one of my favorite shows.
And then where he goes and like crowd surfs all the way back, gets a beer, and then comes back to the stage.
That was great. I think that's still one of my favorite shows I've ever been to.
That was really cool. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, I think I've seen him. I want to say, me and my brother were counting, and I think I'm like 6 or 7 times. Okay. Like every time he comes back through town, it's like I see him about once a year. Right. Yeah. And it's just kind of like I'm drop what I'm doing. I'm like, like when he announced the show in London this year, I was like, I just went to the band calendar. I was like, I'm not available. Yeah. They're like, but we're gonna go, and I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. No,
we're not doing it.
I'm not driving to Ottawa to see him.
Yeah. When that got announced, I was like, told Julie, I was like, I don't know when the date is yet, but like we're going, like, no matter what. Yeah. Because I gotta hit it too. My buddy Colin is like a crazy super fan, and is probably like if not over, like close to 20 times. Because on that like last, like on the Positive Songs tour, he's in the military, and so he had a bunch of time off, and it got to a point where like he was hitting like most of the like Southern Ontario, like Montreal dates, and then they were like, "Yeah, time off." We just keep following him. And I was like, "All right." So I think he hit like 6 to 8 dates like just on that tour, really? Just because he had the time and he could like just go to all those shows.
I don't know if I would ever do that. That's such a weird concept to me.
Yeah, to just like follow the
band and also see the same show a bunch of times.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, because it guaranteed was basically the same show. I think he changes it up a little bit.
Yeah,
which I appreciate, but like, yeah, just to see the same show over and over again.
Yeah, and I don't know.
But if that's what you want to do, that's great. I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, I know. I always wonder. I'm like, would I do that ever? Because like Frank Turner's definitely one of like maybe the 2 or 3 artists I would consider doing it for. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it. If like money wasn't a worry, I still don't know if I would do that. But cause it's kind of special. Just once a year, you get to see the show.
Yeah, you just get like your little piece of it, and then you're like, that was cool. I also would feel bad just for like stealing people's spot. Like if it sold out and I had the ticket, I'd be like, oh, I mean, no, I need to see him again.
Yeah, that's crazy. Do you have a favorite record?
Favorite record of Frank Turner?
Yeah.
That's tough. I'm gonna say it's probably England Keep My Bones.
Yeah.
But I also really like Poetry of the Deed a lot.
Okay.
And that one's weird because like I feel like that's the one that people don't like as much. But that was like my second intro to him.
Okay.
Was we had heard that one, we're like, all right, cool, what else he's got? And then it's like Poetry of the Deed came out. He just did some really cool stuff on there.
Yeah.
You got Dance Song, which is really cool, which is like an acoustic like ball buster. And you're like, acoustic guitar does not have to be coffee house.
No, definitely not.
So like that was cool on that one. And then just the way he weaves a story. But I think England Keep My Bones is really good.
Yeah.
I missed him on that tour when he
really?
So like right before he put out that record, me and some friends, we went to a show. We were gonna go to the show, and he was opening for Social Distortion and Lucero, and I didn't really care about either of those bands. I was like, going for Frank, and then we got high before the show and stopped at McDonald's, and then completely missed him.
Yeah. I can't remember what the show was, but yeah, my brother and his friends did that too, where he was opening for somebody, and they like bought the tickets, went for Frank, and then they're like, "Are you guys like want to hit a bar or whatever?" And somebody like overheard them and like, what do you mean? Like, they're like, this is who we're done. This is who we came for. Yeah. I don't remember who he was opening for though at the time, but that's hilarious. Do you have any like differing opinions on like the newer stuff? You still like?
I haven't. So like, since his last record came out, I've gotten a different computer, so I don't have a CD drive anymore, and my CD player in my car broke.
Oh shit.
So I'm only listening to it intermittently, but I like it. I think it's neat. It's neat the way that he's decided to go. I don't think I appreciate all of it.
Right.
Like, just from a production stance. There's a couple of songs where I was like, why is that so tinny and stuff like that? But no, it's still Frank. Like, he's still writing songs that are honest and have meaning to him.
Right.
I like the acoustic version of There She Is better than the album version one. So like when you released that video, I was like, yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. Yeah, there was some production stuff too that on my first few listens, it like my like sort of review of it was, I felt like it was almost if you took like somebody like Frank Turner, like this punk rocker, and we're like, make like a pop like sort of rock record. Like a lot of the elements in there would be like, this is what pop sounds like, but like it's not really.
No.
But that was, but after I sat with him more, it resonated more. And live, like, I loved it. Because I know at that show, I was there with some of my brother's friends, and like during it, we were like, actually, like a lot of those songs that like I don't really love on the record, like I still love them here. Like it didn't take anything away from it. So that's just a testament to him as a performer.
Yeah, and then you go back and listen to the record, and you're like, oh, it's better now. Yeah. It fixed it somehow. Sure. There's just like a chemical reaction that changes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's the benefit of seeing bands live. Like, for sure. It's like, it's nice when you're able to capture most of it on on wax or whatever,
right.
but like really to get like the full experience. And I think like my stuff is kind of that way,
right?
Where I really implore people to come to the shows. They're like, oh, it's really proud of you for putting out a record. Like, come to a show. They're like, maybe.
Yeah.
And you're like, you should really come to a show because it's gonna be something different. And I always try to do something different at every show because so it's not boring to me.
Right. Yeah, because if you're not having fun, then like nobody's obviously gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Plus, like we said, are like the people that are always there supporting you. Like you want to give them a reason to keep coming out, right?
I don't like that beat for beat,
right?
Like, timed out set.
Yeah.
Like I understand like when certain bands do it, like when the Arkells do it, it's like they got a light show to compete with. They're like, all right, we have to do it like this so that the spotlight is on us here.
Yeah.
So like it's cool when you do that, but I'm not at that point.
Right.
So I don't like to make everything planned. I plan out my talking bits a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's important though.
It is because I don't know if you ever felt the air get sucked out of a room before because you said something wrong, but it's pretty terrible. So it's like, oh, won't tell that story anymore. I'll change it to this story.
There's I tend not to like sometimes before a show I'm like, oh, I could tell this or whatever, but like in the moment I tend to like shy away from that stuff. I remember at a release show I just started like telling some kind of story and then I had like no idea where I was. I was like lost in the excitement and like the disbelief of doing it. And then I was like, I gotta stop talking and play the next song already. This is crazy. That's funny though. That's cool though. Yeah, Frank Turner, definitely one of my favorite performers. Is there somebody else that's like ranks close to him for you in terms of like? I guess we talked about the Gasoline Anthem a bit.
Yeah, like I think Brian Fallon's just kind of a weirdo,
right?
It just like kind of shows on stage,
yeah.
And, like, cause you wouldn't see it, he kind of just like looks like it's just a plain
like
Jane
guy,
dude that's over there. But like you watch like some of his live stuff and you go to a show and he's just a weird dude. He's just like the things that he says that come out. He's just like, okay, you're just gonna say that, and he just and just watching like live videos of bands that I like, it kind of just lets me think about how I'm gonna do a show differently.
Right.
But even though I say that, like I always forget because if you get in the moment, you're like, how did I get talking about Cheerios?
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, I am doing the Brian Fallon.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the song.
I started the shows that we were doing, just to like support the EP or whatever. I like just started like filming them just for me to like watch back and be like, all right, like did this moment that I thought look weird, like did it look weird or whatever. At our Toronto show, I don't know, the way that I like perform or whatever, I like kind of like flop around and shit. And so there was one moment during our last song where Nick was doing a guitar solo and I like actually like tripped over myself and like so like I felt so like dumb and embarrassed. And Charlie the kid, actually, like Trevor, was like taking videos and stuff of us at that show, and he like got that on video because he was videotaping Nick doing the solo, and he sent it to me, and I watched it back, and like just because I was already like acting that way during the trip, you like doesn't make a difference at all. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing to kind of get over when you're doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
is really how's it gonna look on stage, and you're like, oh, that looked weird. Be like, no, it's part of the moment. Yeah. And like even if you trip, you're still in control. Yeah. Like the thing is, like that's still funny. Like I remember like first time I ever did like a jump while playing the guitar.
Oh yeah.
I fell on my ass. I fell on my ass in front of like literally handfuls of people.
Yeah.
And I was super embarrassed, but like you just get up and like shrug it off because you still bring it back. Be like, oh, got away from myself. Yeah. First day of new legs or whatever. Yeah. I wouldn't make that joke because that's a bad joke. Yeah. But.
That's funny. So you also play in Averages.
Yeah.
So how did you end up with that gig?
So back when I was doing my second EP, Songs for the Campfire, I was looking for a female vocalist to sing on the one song, Carter and Cash.
Okay.
Which can also be heard on Old Habits.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. And so, like, I had a couple people in mind, but my one friend, she lived in Niagara Falls, so I was like, I'm not going to drive right. I don't have any money. Spending all my money on this EP.
Yeah.
So My old music teacher, Matt Weston, it was a digital audio teacher, Matt Weston. He had a recording studio in his basement, and he was just like, look at this thing I did. And it was Taylor Holden, and it was her first EP, and I was like, I think our voices would match well together.
Yeah.
So I went through the internet, and I clicked on her profile. I was like, hey, this sounds weird, but would you like to come to this person's apartment building and record some vocals? We've never met.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't even like a real studio or anything.
No, it was just
that's hilarious.
It was an apartment building off of Waterloo.
Okay.
Yeah, Waterloo and King, I think.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, if you want to come up over here and do that, that would be cool.
Yeah.
And we met, and then she was like, she enjoyed the song, and she was like, do you want to play some guitar for me? I got some shows coming up, and I need some backing musicians. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then just kind of snowballed from there.
Oh, okay.
It became Taylor Holden, the Law of Averages, and then it was just the Law of Averages, and then we thought that name was too long. So then earlier this year, we just changed it to Averages, and we became a rock and roll band.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then what do they have in terms of releases?
We're doing something soon. It's the weekend of December 15th and 14th, 15th.
Right on.
Yeah, I should know that. We're playing a show at Call the Office. We're releasing our first single.
Oh, okay, cool.
I should look that up so I don't get in trouble. But yeah, we're releasing our first single, and we're doing it at Call the Office for our song "Stay Out."
Okay,
and
cool.
It's kind of like a pop rock.
Okay, cool.
I think party
anthem.
Like
seen some. Did you guys announced it yet?
We've announced. Yeah, I think it said "Stay Out." It's coming out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Something
I thought
like
I saw
that.
something.
That's
cool.
we just did a music video for it.
Right.
And so that's getting edited together.
Awesome.
So hopefully it's gonna be done by December.
Right.
And it's like the first of 3 singles that we're putting out.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it's gonna kind of be like interspersed.
Yeah, that's the move. And like, is there like a record or an EP or something, or you just kind of?
I'm not sure. I think we might put it on CDs once it's all said and done.
Right.
Because people are still buying CDs, which is a weird surprise.
Yeah, I think like for like smaller bands and stuff, it's still a good move. I mean, I guess like Sunrise is still, and like there's still small like mom and pop stores.
I think they're actually like still. I think they're expanding.
Yeah. Well, they like bought up every HMV store, and then a couple of years ago, and they still seem to be doing all right. So
I'm just glad HMV is gone. I didn't like HMV at all. I got some flack for that. Yeah, I think it's December 14th.
Okay,
Call
cool.
the Office. Call the Office, December 14th. Averages, single release.
Be there.
Playing with a cool band, Stuck Out Here. One of my friends' bands. They're a pop punk band from. They used to be from Clinton, Ontario, and now they're kind of like interspersed, but they're a Toronto-based band.
Okay, cool.
So we're doing a show here in London, then we're doing a show in Toronto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
At Duffy's Pub.
Okay, sweet.
Which
That's
is really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, Call the Office is great.
Oh yeah, it's an institution.
It is. It really is. That's awesome. So, what do you got? What do you got coming up for like Charlie Weber shows?
I've got one show coming up in London on December 9th.
Next week.
Yeah, it's like
Sunday. Rum Runners,
soon.
right?
Yeah, Rum Runners. Yeah, we're doing a show at Rum Runners with Birds of Bellwoods.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. And then we have Dakota Mill, who used to be in Old East.
Yes.
And so London folks know that. And then we have Ivan Rivers opening up the show, which he's actually Stuck Out Here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Then he has his own solo thing. And I think I'm super excited to have him play.
Yeah.
So like he used to run the first record label I was on.
Oh, okay.
Like, so it was like a record label collective thing where everyone just gets on his label and he like puts it out on his website, and hopefully people like it and you can download it for free. That was Eternal Bummer Records. And then, so he's playing, and he just put out 2 EPs that he put on vinyl.
Oh, awesome.
And no, I think it's some of the best songwriting I've ever heard in my entire life. It's stupid. It's stupid. And it's weird to be like that big of a fan of your friend's band.
Right.
But like both of his bands, I really like that. And that Stuck Out Here is like another one of my favorite bands of all time. And I go like, fangirling over this guy that I drink, that I used to drink beers with.
Yeah.
In
That's
his
awesome,
garage.
though. I think that's important though. We're all trying to do our thing. It's important that everyone supports each other, I think.
Yeah.
It's good. Cool. Do you have any like maybe like horror stories or like live shows? And maybe a positive one after.
Well, over on this last tour, so we did a tour with Charlie the Kid.
Right.
He came on like the last 4 dates.
Okay, cool.
And we went to Belleville, and the beauty of Belleville is that it's the perfect distance from everything.
Right.
You're on your way to Toronto. It's just a couple hours outside of Toronto, and then you're halfway to Montreal.
Right.
So we're like, we're going to stop there. I got some family there. Let's go there. So we get to Belleville, and we go to the bar, and we start loading our stuff in, and no one in there, for one. Absolutely nobody in there except for, like, one guy and then the bartender.
Right.
And who we could only call the sound technician because there was nobody else who was doing anything.
Right.
So we get there and we're loading our stuff in, and they're like, "Hey, we're the band," and we just started tossing our stuff on stage, and they're like, "Yeah, do you have everything you need?" We're like, "Yeah, we just need the PA system for like the vocals," and he's like, "Oh, we don't have one of those." I'm like, and I look over the stage and there's 2 giant speakers, and I'm like, and then you don't have any of those?
Yeah.
He's like, "No." I was like, "But what about those?" He's like, "Well, it's hooked up to that thing over there," and which is clearly a soundboard just covered up by a curtain. And he goes, "Oh," I'm like, "It would be really great if we could use that. We can figure it out, but it would be really great if you could just like plug a vocal mic in there, and we can just set it and forget it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, we're not really sure. It's not really up to us. We'll decide. This is Richie over here. He knows what's up." And Richie comes over, and he's walking around like he knows what's up, and he's and he's like, "Yeah, no, it's so you can't do the music thing with the with the audio because I'm only in charge of the board on Thursdays and Saturdays, but every other day I'm not allowed to touch it." And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to go grab more stuff, figure it out. You talk amongst yourself. We'll come back, see what you figure out. So we get back, and they're like, "All right, so here's what we can do is we can set up one vocal mic, and we'll put it at a bass level, and we won't touch it." And I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
As long as there's sound.
Yeah.
And then so we're trying to sound check the vocal mic, and he's got the gain all the way up.
Oh my god.
Like
so
never touched a board in his life. So he's got the volume like down really low and then all the way up. And I'm checking him, Mike, and I'm like, "Okay, check, 1, 2. And then he leaves, and I'm like, "All right, cool. If that's good with you, it's good with me," because it literally just has to exist, and it starts to feedback.
Yeah.
So then Richard is coming up, and I'm like, "Hey, man, the gain is too high. It's going to feedback right now." So I get to turn it down, like just turn down the gain real quick. And then the bartender comes from the back, and he goes, "Hey, what did I say? Don't touch that again, or I'm going to shut this whole thing down." I was like, for who? Like, nobody's here. Like, you would just close the bar after that. So eventually we figured out, and then we played the show, and then they come up, and they're like, "Yo, usually we get like weird, like terrible punk bands coming through here on a weekday night. So that's why we were all like afraid to like have you touch anything." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? A lot of people don't know what they're doing." So like, it was like, cool. And they're like, "Yeah, but you're good now. So it's cool. Now that we know that you're good, it's good." I'm like, great.
We're out of here.
Anyway, so there was nobody there, but we sold a t-shirt to the bartender.
Nice.
So we made $15. So I bought everyone's lunch in Montreal.
Oh man, that's something, man. Don't touch it. But we'll crank the gain though.
Oh, he just cranks the gain all the way up, and I'm like, this guy's never touched a board in his life. I know that. I'm not the most tech savvy guy, but I'm like, I know the gain's all the way up. Yeah. Please turn that down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something. That's really something.
For the 3 people that were in the bar, we got great reviews. Though.
Yeah.
But that was probably the most horror story thing that we had come up. My tours actually go pretty smoothly. Like, it's not I usually find places to sleep like beforehand.
Right.
It's never too much of an issue.
Right.
But yeah, like a lot of people were just like, yeah, and the van broke down and this happened. And be like, no, we actually hit 600,000 kilometers on the van that we were in on the way there. We're like, keep going.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. It's almost like I saw like the Dirty Nil on Instagram a couple weeks ago. Like their van broke down, and I was like, even they can't get a good van. Like, what's the deal? These,
that's because they're just driving up and down.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna see them on Friday for my birthday.
Oh yeah. I haven't. I'll probably go to that. I haven't bought tickets yet, but I think there's still tickets available.
Yeah, I bought it online just to be safe.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. They're not like horribly expensive.
No, it was like $15 plus service charge, so it's 22.
Okay, yeah, that's another great thing about like Frank Turner shows. They're like they don't break your bank.
No.
To go like
no, because it's just punk rock dude playing music for people who don't have money.
Yeah, it's like, awesome. Yeah. It's awesome. When we saw him in Waterloo, actually, I come from Meaford, Ontario. I don't know if you know that.
That's up by Owen Sound?
Yeah. So it's like the weather there is always like pretty shitty, especially like in the wintertime. So that day me and my brother were going from Meaford, and it was like the worst snowstorm of all time.
Oh yeah.
And my parents were like, "You're not going." And it was the first time I was gonna see him, so I was like, "We really like need to go." And Zach's like, "I'm driving, like I don't care, like we're going." I'm like, "Oh, all right, like cool." And he's like, "Apparently it's fine in Kitchener," and like, but like hour and a half out of Meaford, it was totally fine. Yeah. And then it was like same way. But then when we were like coming back, it was like
and you just hit the wall.
Bad. Yeah, it was like legit a wall of like just snowstorm.
It's up by like water, right?
Yeah, it's right on Georgian Bay. Yeah, so
that's exactly where it comes from.
Yeah, so
because my parents live out by Lake Huron, so Exeter, and
right?
Then, like Grand Bend is like right there.
Yeah.
So like every time I drive there from work, it's fine until I hit like this one corner, corners, then it's just like just snow all over you. And my mom's calling me like 6 times. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, I was fine until I turned one corner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy what the weather can do. Even I was actually home yesterday, and my parents live on top of this big hill, and it was like brutal. Like I couldn't even get the car like out of the driveway. No. But then you get like just down the hill, and it's
just
like, totally cool.
Yeah, you gotta just turn that corner. And you're good to go.
It's so funny when that happens. That's awesome, man. So usually I ask like a 2-part question kind of near the end, which we've already like gone over some of it, but the first part of it is just local acts like similar to like kind of you or whatever. That you haven't played a show with that you would like to play a show with. I haven't
played a show with.
Yeah.
I haven't played with Aaron Allen.
Okay.
He's great. I see him all the time. I think it'd be a nice set to put on.
Awesome.
Aaron Allen, the Small City Saints. He's great. He's like more country.
Okay.
Who else haven't I played with? I don't think I've actually played a show with Alex Mason.
Okay.
But he's in Toronto now. But I think I tried to set something up with him in Toronto once, and it didn't end up working out. He had to like cancel.
Right.
But he's great too. I think we would mix really well. Just like do like a singer-songwriter thing.
Wicked.
I don't know. Who else is good?
I don't know. I guess like that's a nice thing kind of about what you do is you can feel like you're open a little bit more to like maybe who you could play shows with.
It's by design.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because you can't. That's what I was talking to Trevor about. Is like you can do like rum runners, but then you could do like a coffee shop.
Then you can do the Rosewood Room right underneath.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd like to start playing with like some more like hard rock bands and like punk bands and stuff like that. Like, so if anyone, get at me. Major Minor Can on the Twitters. Yeah, it'd be because like I play with such a random assortment of people,
right?
Where it's just kind of like in Montreal we played with like a pop punk band and an alt rock band, and didn't feel off,
right?
Like nothing about it felt weird,
right?
But then we also had Charlie the Kid open for us, and like it was good. Yeah. So like I don't know. When it comes down to punkers, I think Dong Vegan's always fun to be around. Averages played with them, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Dong Vegan and Isolation Party. Let's go. And then Dong Vegan, Isolation Party, and then Charlie Weaver and Averages, and we'll just have a double bill of front people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was something I meant to ask you about, and I forgot, was the name change. What was the reason from going major minor to
mostly it was taxes.
Okay.
I'm thinking about putting it through my taxes.
Okay.
And when you do it as a sole proprietor, you just add it on to your regular expenses. You're like, you just send all your receipts to your accountant, and you don't have to sign up as a business.
Oh, okay.
Also, Forest City Records says, we don't like major minor. That's stupid. Change it. Be better. Your name is great. And I was like, because like for a long time when I was coming up, I was like, I don't want to be my name. That's stupid. It I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't confident in my own self or anything like that. But like, it was just like, I don't want to do it like that. We're going to do that. And I found a name, and I named it off of a Thrice record.
Okay, cool.
And I played like that for like 3.5, 4 years.
Right.
And yeah, and then there was like, you should change your name. And I was like, I was just thinking about doing that anyway for taxes, because I want to go legit.
Yeah.
Want to start making that money.
For sure. That's awesome. Cool. And then so my second part of the original question is just like anybody like big, whatever, that you would love to open for. Dream bill.
And we already went over Frank Turner, Gaslight Anthem, Chuck Ragan, like Hot Water Music fame.
Right, cool.
He's got his own solo stuff, which is really great, which I took a lot of influence off of him for the record. It's kind of rootsy and stuff.
Right.
Who else is good? Who am I listening to? I don't know. That's it's a tough one, because just you get that brain fart.
Yeah, you start thinking of like everybody.
Flatliners would be cool.
Oh, okay,
I'd like to open for the Flatliners.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Flatliners are propaganda, because then I'd talk a little bit of politics, and then they would like back it up.
Yeah.
Or I would say the wrong thing, and then they would just like scream at me. Both would be fun.
Yeah, both would be a story for sure. So
that'd be cool. We started doing this thing, and I've seen it a couple of times now, where we have like comedians open for us too.
Okay.
So like at my release show, we had my friend Aaron Stevenson. He opened the show, and he was like, "I'm the MC. I'm gonna do like 5 minutes of comedy, and we're gonna the next act on."
Right.
And that was really cool. And I saw it at the Gaslight Anthem show. They had the one guy come out, and he did a 15 minutes of comedy. And it was great. I think it'd be really neat to open for a comedian, because I see that happen a lot. Dave Chappelle does that for his shows. He gets like a hip hop artist that he really likes.
Right.
That'd be really. Joe Rogan wants me to open for him.
Yeah, that was like, I'd never heard of that, and then I like was listening to some podcast, and it was like Bill Burr was on tour with like Alice in Chains or something at one point.
What did I just see today? Styx is going on tour with Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh my god!
And it's not even a joke. Like
oh my god!
Like I was like, what? Do they have a lot in common? Like,
dude, man, Meaford, like just my hometown in general, like that's for them, man.
I used to love Larry the Cable Guy, and then I moved. I moved. So like Jeff Foxworthy and Ron White.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely the weak link on that blue collar comedy tour.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Styx and Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, no, that's very strange. I read that today. I was like,
that's hilarious.
I feel like there's not a lot of like connection there. Like,
I don't know, man.
Oh, I'd open for Bruce Springsteen. That'd be sick.
Oh, that would be unreal. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Because you'd be playing like stadiums.
Yeah, and he's like, I just do like 10 minutes because that show's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
nobody wants me on there.
No,
be like, hey, but if you really like, here's the sound
shirts
alike. Yeah.
Who are you? Why are you here?
Yeah. Tom Petty would have been cool. I got to see Tom Petty before he died.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really cool. Here in London.
Oh, okay.
That would have been really cool if I could open for him. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm out of questions. Is there anything else we didn't talk about that you wanted to maybe like just mention to the people?
We got the show on December 9th at Rum Runners. Tickets are $7 in advance, so like it's a steal.
Awesome.
Birds of Bellwood's great. And
cool.
Dakota Mill and Ivan Rivers.
Awesome. Also at the door.
Yeah, they'll be at the door. Too? Yeah. Cool. No, we're not gonna sell out. But
yeah. Sold out.
It's sold out already. You missed your chance. No, but it'll be cool. Like, Averages got the release at Call the Office on December 14th. That one's gonna be a big one.
Cool.
It's gonna be really cool.
You also have your stuff at Grooves, right?
Yeah. No, I just saw that the other day. That was really cool.
Awesome.
I was
you did that? Oh, yeah. I guess like
I know that record.
Forest City would have put it in there, right? That's awesome.
Like, I know that record.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If anyone wants to get that kind of stuff, we got T-shirts, and they're always available at live shows. We got, you can get your records at, I think, Grooves, and I want to say Odyssey Records over in the East End has it.
Okay, cool.
Or you can just get it online or hit me up, but easiest way is come to a show. You can get yourself a T-shirt, a poster, and we have new run of stickers. It's the same design, different color. Collect them all.
There you go. I love that. Just swap the color out. That's awesome. Well, thanks for doing this, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I got to go to band practice after this. So.
Right on. Sweet. Charlie Weber. I almost said Charlie the Kid, dude. I didn't, though.